Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. As mentioned in the previous video where I cleaned up the interior, I just wanted to check this part of the coolant system because this is where the lines go into the heater matrix. I have no working heater in this car. I was expecting the circulation to work because I felt both of the lines become hot. But I'm not sure that's the case any longer because, well, they did become hot, but I don't think there is any circulation because I wanted to take this one off. This is actually the filler point. There is a plastic nut that snapped for me. So I took the entire top off, then I snapped another bolt. But in the process of that, I found out that it's pretty much completely clogged down there. So I don't think there is any circulation, at least in the matrix. The rest of the system seems to work fine, but what I want to do today is to flush it, get all the old coolant out, clean this up, repair the threads, maybe see if I can find some coolant lines that fit going to the matrix because they seem rather brittle in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. According to my manual, that bolt right down there should be the drain. There we go. This is really draining a lot slower than I was expecting, especially with the top part of it open. But that tells me that it is rather clogged in there. Yeah, if I press the hose, it comes out. So it's not venting very efficiently right now. So while that drains, I'm going to attempt to remove the entire housing because that would make it a lot easier to clean and fix that thread. But I need to be sure that it's possible to take it out without cracking more bolts, of course. Can you hear this? Now that the seal is breaking up here, it will start running faster. That tells me that it's completely clogged this filler part of it. I'm actually surprised that the coolant system was working as efficiently as it was. I was having slight hotter temperature after a long drive and then standing still, but the fan would just kick in and cool it down, so it wasn't a worry. But oh my god, I really need to be better at checking stuff like this out before driving around. I just risk burning off I just risk an overheat like this. But this one is clogged for sure. This one up here is clogged, but I don't think this will be clogged actually. But it is. Oh, we've got a lot of that gooey stuff down there. Oh, this is the plugged part because when I take this out, it just runs out really quickly. Yeah, we might have a problem. Impressive that this coolant system was working and not overheating. Could be just coincidence. Oops. I think this will be the last time I run a car with an unknown coolant system before checking all this stuff. Nothing has happened, but it's more down to luck than anything else. Of course, I would have not driven the car if it actually overheated. The needle has never been into the red. It's just been slightly above the middle part when it was really hot. Normally it will just be in the middle all the time. So it's looking okay down there, at least. That's nice. I'm going to remove the thermostat housing to make sure that it's not the same over here. I don't think it is, but just to be sure. Really have to be careful about bolts like these, but they are not very tight, these. If they were, I wouldn't do anything else. Then I would have to wait to let the penetrant oil do its work and maybe heat it up and all that, because these are really, at least on minis, I don't have any experience in this model, but on minis they are a lot smaller, the bolts, and they are so easily snapped. I think I actually snapped some on this channel once. I don't know why the coolant has crystallized like this. I've heard of this stuff happening if you mix the red and the blue stuff, but I'm not even sure that's the case, because at least in my country and at my local supplier, the blue and the red stuff is exactly the same. So I don't really know what's up with that, but this is a kind of weird crystallization or sludgifying or whatever you want to call that stuff. It's soft, but still clogging up stuff. Yeah, this is looking a lot better over here. We have no sludge issues here, which I'm, to be honest, was not expecting to see either, because if we had the same problem here as we had at the filler point, we would be having overheating problems for sure. But this is looking just fine, but I'm going to flush it anyway. And I'm even going to remove the radiator to empty that out as well. That would just be the best thing to do, I think. It's a bit of a tight fit, this, but it's possible. I'm expecting the stuff that comes out of the radiator to be pretty clean. Look at the bucket, that's not clean, so don't look at that afterwards, but just, yeah, the stuff that comes out now is just pretty good. It's not the worst. It's not perfect, but it's not full of goo or anything like that. I'm gonna flush this outside tomorrow. Okay, so this is the day after, so the lighting is most likely different. This is not for the Princess, but this is going to be a bit of a botch repair, because I cannot just go ahead and buy coolant hoses for the Princess. It's special hoses. This one is not even the right one, as far as I know. I have just cut a bit of it off because it's completely split. So I think I can make this work for just a little longer, but I will try to get another one, or the right one if possible. The reason why it's a bit tricky is that this side fits the water pump, this side fits this one, but it's not at all the same size, but the coolant hose is. So this is having to be compressed way more than it's designed for. That makes them split like this. So it's not going to be brilliant. This one is going to the heater matrix, and as you maybe can see, it is very hard. This is not good. I would like to change that as well, but it's the same problem because it's slightly bigger in this side than this side, so I cannot just change it. This one fits one of the sides, but not both of them. But what I found out is that this fits on one side and this fits on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over top of this to fit it, but I'm not just going to do it like that. I'm going to put a fitting inside of here first to avoid this one collapsing. Yes, it is going to restrict flow slightly, but this is just for the heater matrix, so maybe it makes the heater a little bit less efficient, but it won't matter much. But this is how I'm going to do it. Yes, it's a botch, but it's the only way I can see this to be fixed right now. But the first thing I need to do is to fix this, because we still have a nut right there that is stuck. This is the filling point of the coolant system. This one goes down to the water pump and the rest of the system. This one goes into the heater matrix. This one is unused, blocked. This part goes into the block with an opening right here. But what is really weird is it got a gasket in between that seals it off, so I don't think it's supposed to go that way in. Why that is, I don't know. But as you can see, it's sludging up badly in here. Luckily, most of the sludge is inside of this unit and in the old piping around it. So I don't think I have to do a lot of cleaning on the existing system, but I'm gonna flush it anyway. But the first thing would be to try to fix this part, i.e. get that piece out of there, right there. This might not work, but I'm going to attempt to just heat it up and grab it with the vice grip and see if that can get it loose. Let's see if we can make it move. So my camera thought that I was working way too slowly and ran out of battery. So, but I managed to get a new thread going by drilling the old one out. It will work. Clean it up a bit, and now I actually started cleaning or flushing out the coolant system. Should have done this outside, but it's not drying at the moment. I'm just flushing until clean water comes out of all jackets, then closing up the jackets and all the ports, making sure coolant comes out in other places. So that's the plan for right now. We're definitely getting flow everywhere now, and the water that comes out is clear all over. Okay, so that gasket actually got a little small hole up there, so it is possible to go from the block and into this. I think it's mainly for bleeding pressure, bleeding procedure. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. So everything is back on the car now, and I want to fill up with coolant and check for leaks, of course. This is a bit of a botched job, as I said before, with all the hoses and stuff like that, and I'm going to try to source the right kind of hoses, but I think it would be really difficult. But that would be nice. But I'm going to fill it up with coolant now and run it, make sure there are no air in the system, and test the heater. There must be a better way than this. According to the manual, this is the way to do it. It just takes quite a while, and it takes 7.4 liters of coolant. So I will be here for a couple of minutes. So there we go. I filled in 8 liters, but I also spilled a bit, so it should be correct. The reservoir is correct. I done it according to the manual. This one I fixed with a oil plug inside the rubber that snapped off. I made a thread in it. I think it will hold up just fine. I would like to get a proper cap for this at one point, but I think this will do for now. So now I need to fit this. Now I'm supposed to remove the expansion tank cap, run the engine for 30 seconds, push air out of the radiator hoses, fit the cap once again, open up this and fill it to the top. So I'm going to try that. That's 30 seconds. All the smoke is just due to all the water that came out of this engine in a not so controlled fashion. Oh, I was wondering why the engine was only running on 4 cylinders. I thought that maybe it's been a while since it was started up and it was a bit maybe over fueling or something. I was a bit puzzled, but maybe this is the reason. I took them off when I had to take the drain bolt out. So it was running on 4 because only 4 leads were connected. So it was effectively an Austin Maxi engine for a while. Anyway, I need to check the level. The level is just fine. Then I'm supposed to fill it all the way up to the threads. Before proceeding, I'm just going to pressure test the system. Like that. So after a while it seems to be holding pressure pretty nicely. If we have a leak, it is going to be a very small one. So now it's time to actually check if it works, because what I was trying to achieve was a working heater. So I'm going to take my small temperature gauge and put it into the windscreen defroster up there. It is showing 50 degrees right now. Hopefully we will see an increase in the temperature. Ooh, 1 degree. This is a result. It's heating up. Not a lot yet, but it is heating up. I think it's working. So now we have circulation in the system and heat in the cabin. Not a lot, but it seems to work. I think it will. I think once I start driving it, it will work just fine. Of course, the flow is not optimal because of that little plastic thing I had to put into the pipe so I could get a better flow. But at least now it's not clogged. The coolant system is working and the car is also clean now, so that's nice. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.